What if the secret to building a $1 billion life wasn't about mimicking what billionaires do today, but about understanding how they got there? Most people obsess over the habits of the already successful, copying their green smoothies and cold plunges, while missing the real secret. They became successful by sacrificing comfort, not seeking it. The truth is, before the jets and gyms, before the masterminds and meditation apps, most of these people had no balance. They worked relentlessly. They gave up parties, weekends, and sometimes even relationships. They didn't wake up at 6 a.m. to sip lemon water in silk robes. They woke up at 6 a.m. because they had no choice but to win. This routine isn't about what billionaires do now. It's about what they did on the way up. It's a battle-tested system rooted in obsession, sacrifice, and discipline. If you're ready to stop playing in comfort and start building real power, let's begin. Wake when you're broke, unknown, and irrelevant. The alarm clock isn't a gentle reminder. It's a battle cry. Waking up early isn't about productivity hacks or spiritual alignment. It's about declaring war on mediocrity. The average man hits snooze because his life doesn't excite him. The rising achiever gets up because he's in a war. And sleeping in is surrender. Billionaires didn't wake up early because it was trendy. They did it because time was their only currency, and they were broke. Every extra hour was a stolen advantage, a hidden weapon in the hands of the obsessed. They got up when others didn't. That's what made the difference. And the moment they opened their eyes, gratitude. Ruthless, sobering gratitude. Because 1 million people didn't wake up today. Their dreams died in their sleep. But not yours. You woke up. That's your sign. If God gave you another chance to open your eyes, maybe he's not done with you yet. Waking up isn't just physical, it's spiritual. And hitting snooze is the modern man's prayer of avoidance. So stop running, get up, stand up, lock in. This is not the time for comfort. This is the time for conquest. Hydrate. The second you wake up, your body's already behind. 8 hours without water, and you expect it to operate at billionaire levels? Not happening. Hydration isn't about health fads or lemon detox trends. It's about control, discipline, respect for the vessel that carries your ambition. Most people fuel their mornings with sugar, caffeine, and dopamine scrolls. The winners? They weaponize water. A tall glass, no hesitation, before the phone, before the noise, before anything. Because their body isn't a temple, it's a machine. And machines need maintenance. This isn't about sipping slowly like some spy-goer. This is a ritual of war preparation. Your organs, activating. Your brain, waking. Your blood, flowing. You're not pampering yourself. You're preparing to dominate. Throw in some electrolytes or lemon if you must. But remember, the act matters more than the mix. Billionaires don't just hydrate to feel better. They do it because they're preparing for mental battle. If you can't control what enters your mouth in the morning, how will you control millions in your bank? Hydration is the first physical command of the day. Do it with intention. Do it without delay. Because if you can't command your body, forget about commanding your future. Move you want energy? Earn it. The body isn't designed to wake up ready. It's designed to conserve, hesitate, and protect. But that primal instinct has no place in a modern world built on competition. You either create momentum or you fall behind. Movement isn't about burning fat or getting abs. It's about asserting dominance over your mind before the world gets a chance to distract you. You must force yourself each morning to do what you do not want to do, because that's the first battle of the day. And if you win that, you set the tone for everything else. Don't wait for motivation. Stretch, walk, do push-ups, cold shower, doesn't matter. What matters is that you move with intention and send this message loud and clear. I do hard things because I say so. My mind obeys me, not the other way around. This is why most people stay tired. They've never pushed through resistance in the first hour of the day. Their body stays soft. Their thoughts stay slow. Their energy stays trapped. Motion creates emotion. Weak body, weak spirit. Strong body, sharp mind, and it begins with discomfort. Embraced, not avoided. Force equals freedom, And if you can train your body to move when it doesn't want to, you're training your entire life to move when it must. Discipline starts in the flesh. Victory begins in motion. Mind. The world doesn't care how you feel. And the most dangerous thing you can do in the morning is sit there debating if you're happy, sad, or stressed. That's how the average man begins his day, emotionally fragile and seeking comfort. But you are not average. You wake up and train your mind like a warrior sharpens his blade. You don't waste mental bandwidth labeling emotions. Instead, you channel them. You've got emotional energy? Good. That energy can either flood your town or power your turbines. Your choice. This is why billionaires and top performers don't focus on being in the mood. They don't need mood. They have mission. Every morning before the chaos of the world leaks into your mind, you establish dominance over your internal state. Meditation? Only if it trains focus, not passivity. Breathwork? If it centers you in the now. Affirmations? Yes, but say them like you mean it, like you're programming a machine. Journaling? If it clarifies your direction and eliminates noise. Whatever tool you use, the objective is non-negotiable. Mental sovereignty, clarity of mission, emotional control. This is not about peace. It's about control. The calm in your mind is not a luxury. It is your strategic weapon in a world full of chaos and distraction. Gratitude is essential here too, not because it's soft, but because it's grounding. You woke up. Many didn't. That means you have one more shot to push, one more day to advance, one more chance to conquer what others will avoid. So don't get caught asking yourself how you feel. Ask instead, how am I going to use how I feel today? That's what it means to be a sovereign mind in a reactive world. Most people drift into their day like leaves in the wind, hoping, reacting, surrendering control the moment a text, email, or distraction hits. But not you. You wake up and wage war with precision. The elite don't start their day without a plan because they understand a simple truth. The man without a plan becomes a pawn in someone else's. But here's the deeper truth. Your morning plan begins the night before. Winners go to sleep with intent. They don't scroll into slumber. They script the next move. They ask, what must be conquered tomorrow? What are the top 3 outcomes I must create? What are the traps, time wasters, or weak thoughts I need to disarm ahead of time? Because if you wait until the morning to figure it out, you've already lost momentum. You wake up in reaction, not preparation. And by then, the battle's already started. So each night before you sleep, your mind should be rehearsing tomorrow's mission, like a general strategizing a siege. When you rise, you're not asking what to do. You're executing. Every action has intent. Every block of time has a purpose. There is no winging it, only deliberate movement. Andrew Tate puts it bluntly, losers react. Kings predict and prepare. Planning does not mean chasing perfection. You don't ask what if it doesn't go your way. You bend the day to your will until it yields. And if it breaks, you pivot. You don't hesitate. You recalculate. You remain dangerous. So don't just write to-do lists. Write instructions for domination. Because the man who goes to sleep prepared, wakes up undefeated, read every morning, the old version of you dies, and you get to decide who takes its place. The question is, will that version be sharper, more dangerous, more valuable than yesterday's? The most successful men on earth didn't grow by chance. They engineered their evolution with information that shaped their worldview, sharpened their tactics, and strengthened their identity. Reading isn't about checking a box or feeling productive. It's mental weaponization. But not all reading is created equal. You're not wasting your mornings on fiction or fantasy. That's escapism. You don't need a distraction. You need ammunition. This is where billionaires and future billionaires part ways with the average. They devour self-improvement manuals to reinforce their discipline and core beliefs. Tactical business books that deepen their advantage in their field sales psychology, persuasion, market insights, investor letters, real game, biographies of power players to dissect what worked, what failed, and what made them legends. Even 15 minutes of the right material can alter the trajectory of your day, because what you consume in the morning echoes in your decisions, conversations, and execution for the next 12 hours. And this isn't passive. You highlight, you take notes, you reflect like a surgeon preparing for battle. You don't read to be entertained, you read to arm your mind, build frameworks, and steal the edge from people 20 years ahead of you. Tate said it himself. If you read the right book, it's like downloading 30 years of someone else's pain and success into your skull. Why would you not? Every chapter is either a sword in your hand or a shield for your future. So ask yourself, what book are you reading that's making you more lethal today than you were yesterday? And if the answer is none, you're already behind. Fuel. You wake up each morning with energy, emotional energy, mental energy, physical energy. This energy is like water behind a dam. If left uncontrolled, it can flood your mind with anxiety, distractions, and laziness. But if harnessed with discipline, like water powering a turbine, it becomes the force that lights up your entire life. The difference? Discipline, direction, purpose. That begins with how you fuel yourself. What you eat, what you consume, physically and mentally, either sharpens your blade or dulls it. You're not eating for taste. You're eating for function. Clean protein, smart carbs, no sugar traps. You're feeding a weapon, not a weakling. And beyond food, your real fuel is discipline. Because motivation is a liar. Motivation shows up when life feels good. Discipline shows up when you feel nothing at all. And that's exactly when it counts. This is why you don't ask, am I in the mood to eat clean today? Do I feel like following my plan? No, you eat and move like your mission depends on it. Because it does. You don't chase comfort. You don't chase happiness. You chase the feeling of pride. That deep inner pride that comes from knowing you made your ancestors, your future family, and your God proud. You're not here for pleasure. You're here to build something that lasts beyond you. So when you fuel, remember that emotional energy inside you, it's going somewhere. Left unchecked, it floods the town. But when you direct it, it powers everything. Fuel your body, fuel your mission, fuel your legacy. Start. You've just uncovered what the world calls the billion-dollar morning routine. But let's get one thing straight. This isn't just what billionaires do now. It's what they did to become billionaires in the first place. They weren't sipping coconuts. They weren't chasing balance. They sacrificed, focused, and reprogrammed their minds every single morning. This routine wasn't about productivity. It was about identity. Every step from movement to mindset, from planning to fueling, was a signal to the universe that they were ready for more. They weren't feathers in the wind blown from happiness to sadness. They used their emotional energy, whether it felt like joy, stress, or pain, not to drown in it, but to power the turbines of their destiny. Because success doesn't show up when you feel good. It shows up when you act with discipline, even when you don't. So now I ask you, which step are you going to begin with tomorrow? Or are you ready to master all of them? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. If you're serious about installing more high-level routines and unlocking untold habits of the ultra-successful, hit that subscribe button now. And don't miss our next video, Brian Tracy's billionaire-level business habits you can copy today.